What's going on, guys? It's Alex Leiba back here again for a brand new interview video, and today I'm joined with the legend, Miss Fiona Dourif.
Well, thank you. Legend is very impressive. I appreciate the label. We finished the third season of Chucky, which has premiered, and we're still waiting to hear from the networks whether we're going to get a season 4. I know that it's definitely in talks. It's very popular on Peacock, and they're just running the numbers and seeing if we get to come back and do it again.
Hopefully, yes. The way they left it off, I really hope it continues.
A lot of cliffhangers.
Exactly. And, of course, with season 3 especially, of course, as you all know, Don Mancini loves to go against the grain and, go against, what... You with the storyline against what we all would think. What aspect of the storyline would you say caught you the most off guard, which surprised you the most?
I would say the initial pitch for me, I was like, Chucky in the haunted White House? Is that going to work? And then it did. I mean, I've talked to a lot of fans in the last year, and the consensus is pretty much their favorite is the third, because it was just so wild and unpredictable, and it had even an elevator full of blood, and it was just really, really fun. The series is really, really fun to make, and the fact that people love it too, it just feels like some kind of lottery.
I agree, and I just love how over the top it got, but over the top in a good way.
Over the top in a good way, yeah. Exactly. No, Don kind of does whatever he wants. I mean, he nuked the North Pole, which is such a great concept.
I agree. I love that. I love that. So, throughout the franchise and especially the TV show, there's a lot of layers to your performance. Of course, with you playing Charles Lee Ray, and just in general, very convincingly playing a paraplegic in general. And so, what would you say was the most challenging aspect of working on the TV show or even the whole franchise?
Yeah, probably playing young Charles, just because I wasn't aware how strange it would feel with all of the prosthetics on, and then looking in the mirror and seeing a version of my father staring back at me. I mean, I really wasn't expecting that to be as emotionally kind of arresting as it was. That felt like a lot of pressure. Just because it's an iconic character, and I wanted to do it justice, and it ended up being really, really fun, but mentally challenging.
I see. I just imagine how weird that is, playing a version of your parent,
It was very weird.
Not just in terms of the Chucky in general, but in general, overall, do you prefer working in TV or film?
It depends. All that matters to make something fun is if the people involved in making it are collaborative and you like the material, right? I love making Chucky because I love working with Don Mancini. It's also just the concepts are really fun. Don writes characters where you have a lot of room to play with it. It feels very close to my family, obviously.
Yes.
And people really like it. I mean, when I first got involved, I guess it would have been 12 or 13 years ago, I had no concept of how popular Chucky was, how much he was in the zeitgeist. I really didn't get it because it was just always this kind of funny thing about my dad. I was raised by an actor, but the least Hollywood actor you could imagine.
Yeah.
There were no Hollywood parties or I grew up in Los Angeles, but not in any way that would suggest that my dad was in any way an actor or famous, really.
So you got a traditional normal childhood as opposed to the big glamorous you'd expect from.
I would say I was raised by two eccentric people, but who knows what normal is? Is there a normal? I don't know, but I would say it was not Hollywood-ish.
I understand. One more quick question for you. I have to ask you, and I know you've probably been asked this a lot, but worked on Tenet, directed by Christopher Nolan. Just how is it working with him, as opposed to other directors you've worked with?
I've never been involved with a project that had a budget like that and had, I worked for 6 weeks in this war scene where they basically built a town in the middle of a salt mine in the desert. And, we had for every shot 3 Chinook helicopters. There was just limitless money. He was very kind and specific with what he wants. And I was just I felt lucky to be a part of it. I was running backwards through the desert. It's being like, was that good? Throwing things backwards, and it was wild. I got to travel. I got flown to Estonia and St. Petersburg, and I was just thinking to myself, like, I'll remember this for the rest of my life. And he's wonderful. I mean, he is specific and hardworking and expects that of all of his cast in a way. It felt like everybody was sort of treated the same. The hierarchy, which usually exists on sets, was sort of negated with him.
That's good.
Yeah, it was cool. Everybody was really hardworking, really there to make something good, and it was just, it was a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You have anything to plug or no? Like any social media or anything you got coming up that you want to?
I was cast in a new show that is going to be announced next week, and because it hasn't been announced, I think I'm not going to say what it is, but it will be in the trades pretty soon. Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at Fiona Dourif. However, I think Instagram makes people miserable, so I am not on it often, but I do try to keep in touch with stuff I'm working on.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Already hit.
All right.
The link to her Instagram will be in the description below, as well as the link to my Instagram and the rest of my social media. And so, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. You take it easy, man. Thank you, guys. I'm also on Twitter, or X, or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. Okay, bye.
Alrighty. See ya. Thank you for watching.